Calligraphy TV also. If you prefer to watch it on YouTube, it is now double streaming. Ashe. So let's go ahead and get into the libation tonight. I'm going to have to improvise and do it in a digital way, you know, to improvise for the live. So I just want to acknowledge any elders that may be on the stream and hoping that you allow or give me permission to do libation. Ashe. See if there's any other questions that need to be. Oh, Ishmael. Give thanks for everyone who's here. Thank you. Thank you from the healing camp. Thank you, Ishmael Bay, to all of to Nana and all of the others that are watching. So let's start with our first pours. Tonight I'm gonna use this. This is something that's sacred to me. So I'm gonna use this vessel here to pour our libation. Now we all come from different paths as far as blood, you know, bloodlines. So we have our own ancestors and, you know, even spiritual beliefs for some of us. So you guys think about whose energy you'd like to bring in, but it's SolCharge that brings us all together today. Okay, so the first pour, this is to the Most High, to the divine source that links us all from heaven to earth. Ashe. Let's pour for the divine, even our Netarus and our guardians. This is the first pour. Ashe. And the second pour is for the unknown and known ancestors that protect us even without us knowing. For unknown and known ancestors that may have passed on before our birth. Ashe. To our mothers, fathers, grandparents, teachers, and guides, whether by blood or by spirit, we give thanks. Ashe. To our families and communities, all those who are gathered with us in love and remembrance, we give thanks. Ashe. To those whom we have lost but remain present in memory and spirit, we give thanks. Ashe. In the sixth pour, this is important. This is the most important pour. This is to our brother, John Curtis SolCharge. We thank you for your smile. We thank you for your services. We thank you for your laughter. We thank you for your joy. We thank you for your friendship. We thank you for the soul charge. You will forever be a part of us. We will forever keep you in our hearts and keep the soul charge daily. Okay, we have to activate. Soul charge is activating. So we pour this for our brother, John Curtis. We welcome you in, brother, knowing that you are right here with us in spirit and in soul. Ashe. And our final pour is for our healing, for our community, for our peace, to his family, and for us to continue to keep going, keep his legacy alive, and remember the joy and the freedom of expression that he brought us. Ashe. Also for bringing us together. We're meeting people. SolCharge has always been a bridge. He's always been a bridge. He's a connector. Ashe. Okay. So I'm going to start this activation by doing the soul poem. You know, me and SolCharge both, we came together 7 years ago, but we both have the soul in our naming. And I asked him about, you know, like the spelling. We both have the SOL, the soul. He's soul activation, and I'm soul elevation. You got a soul charge to Soljet, but you also got both of them are synonymous. Because if we're soul charging, we are soul jetting. And if you're soul jetting, your soul has to be charged. So I want to just give a reminder to that soul presence that we have in all of us. They say the spirit and soul dwells in the belly. So this is my soul activation poem that I use. Stay open. My soul is something inside me that keeps me alive. If it didn't, I couldn't count five. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. From the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet. It hears through our ears and it sees through our eyes. It would never grow old. It would never die. It's truly our soul that keeps us alive. And if it didn't, I couldn't count five. Ashe, 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 and amen. And I mean, give thanks. So now, let's let things just marinate a minute. And I'm gonna put my libation jug here. Keep it covered. Better yet, keep it open. Let the spirit in. Ashe. So I'm gonna be doing some maneuvering, you guys. I wanted you guys to be able to see the candles and everything. And then I'm gonna also be bringing Sister Nana up. So I'm gonna flip my cameras around, okay? Get a different angle. I actually charged this entire room. This entire room is charged for soul charge. This whole entire room is the altar of prayer space, our ritual space for tonight, well, for every night. This is my temple space. Let's see here. So we're gonna be sitting in this direction now, and we can get started with our memorial. Victorious, Gabrielle, Sammy, and Sister Muhammad. I'll be bringing you up soon. Sister Muhammad is going to join me on this build, and I think that's awesome. Anybody else that'd like to come up at the end to say anything or to just add, it's open. Okay, we all loved and cared for SolCharge, so we're just coming together. Oh, my bad, I got the other camera blocked. I apologize. Hold on, a lot going on here. Give thanks. You know, I know a lot of us. You know, I know for me, we haven't been getting much rest. You know, this hit me really hard. It hits all hard because it's so unexpected, you know. So let's go ahead and give me one moment. Let's do the welcome. So peace and blessings, family. And I want to welcome everyone to the special memorial edition of Metaphysical Monday. Metaphysical Monday is every Monday. We're actually in our third season. And what's interesting is my first show was done on Juneteenth, 6/19. My first two guests was Ishmael Bey and John Curtis, Brother SolCharge. He came and played an instrument for us. And that was on, that was in 2023. You know, so I'm thankful for the show. I'm thankful for all of the people who've joined us. And this is every week. If anybody is interested in joining and learning more about Metaphysical Monday. But we know him as Brother Soul or SolCharge. And for those who may not know me, I have both roots in Beaumont, Texas, where I was born, and also Oakland, California, where much of my life was spent in the Bay Area. I moved to Oakland in 1985 from Beaumont, Texas. And I am a spiritual practitioner, artist, teacher, and oracle, and just a soul sister. But tonight is not about me. It is about our brother. Tonight we gather in love. Okay, and this is not to take away from the family and anything that they're doing. This is just for an opportunity for community members and friends and those who were touched by the life of Brother Soul to come together and just reflect on memories and give thanks, because we have some long days ahead of us. You know, we're just in the beginning, you know. So I just wanted to get through this, and then I'll bring up the queen. You got a soul charge to Soljet. Okay, so let's see here. You know, I took this really hard because Brother SolCharge is on his way out here. You know, we've been talking a lot in the last 3 months of his life. And he had made a decision. He had told me, he had invited me to, he said, I'm going to Houston, sister, soon. And, you know, we kept trying to get together, but the COVID years were just, you know, difficult. And he kind of isolated me and isolated everybody. I moved from the Bay Area to Texas. And, you know, so I've been doing my work more on the digital tip. And I remember when SoulCharge announced he was going to Ghana. Shout out to Ghana. Shout out to Bright, you guys. Shout out to the Ghana tribe and the Universal family there. But he brought me and Bright together, and Bright is a wonderful young man. Him and SoulCharge are just, you know, their whole vibe, right? I don't know everyone, but I hope to get to know as many of you as I can. Yeah, this is big. But he told me, he said, I want to see you, sister, because everything just kept getting put off. So we had an opportunity to talk, and we were making plans, not only to meet here in Texas. He was coming in through Houston. He was going to visit me here in Beaumont, and I was going to take him to Galveston. And we were going to do a retreat there. And I was looking forward to that. I was supposed to be this month. And I was going to give him a little history on Galveston. Like I said, SolCharge and Ishmael Bay, they came on Juneteenth. And some people don't know the history of Juneteenth, but Galveston plays a big role in that in that location and on that date. You know, Galveston is a portal that they brought slaves in. You know, it's one of the portals, and it's also the first place that, you know, acknowledged where Juneteenth was born. I thought it would be interesting to look at some of the constructs to go on the beach, because we both love the beach. So I charged this room up with seashells. It's all over. And when I get off the live, I'm gonna show you guys other parts of the room and just, you know, just make some little videos and, you know, and whatnot, just because I did bring that energy in because we both love the beach, and he was just so alive. And shout out to Veronica L as well. And I was asking him, you know, right before I said, I asked him, I said, why did you use SOL for your name? And, you know, because I use Soul, we both dropped the U's, and I've been going by Soljet for 20 years. And then here, SolCharge is my little younger spiritual brother. And we both said the same thing. You know, the soul was the sun or soul activation. And we just wanted to, you know, we just dropped the L to also, it just, I don't know, it just felt right. It felt authentic. It has that solar energy to it. So that's what we went with. Well, that's what I went with. And he said the same thing. His soul is to charge, and mine is soul jetting, which is elevation. So we started, like, we were on the phone, kind of, you know, SolCharge had a good sense of humor. So we're, you know, just clowning around, and this is our hashtag, because this is what our retreat was supposed to be: SolCharge to Soljet. You got a soul charge to Soljet. If you charge your soul, then you can elevate. That's what, you know, we were talking about. I was able to be one of his. He used how do you say it? He did a somatic healing on me in April. You know, we did a session, and I actually recorded it, which I'm more than likely keep it private, but because you know, but I will maybe share parts of our video. You can hear his voice. You can't see him, but you can hear his voice, because we were, you know, filming from my direction. I also did a session on him. We did a spiritual tarot session and intuitive read. And I told him it was some interesting things that came up in the read. Really interesting. And that was in May. And basically, in that reading, all I remember is he was complaining about his back. He continued to talk about how his back was hurting him so bad. He asked me, should he go to a chiropractor or a massage therapist? And I told him, I said, no, I said, go to a massage therapist, not a chiropractor, because, you know, it may injure you more. And he said, I haven't did anything but exercise. But what people fail to realize is Brother SolCharge was a young man who did a whole lot of things in a short time, a whole lot of things. He gave a lot of energy. He's a soul charge. And a lot of things that sometimes I say, well, maybe you need to take it easy. Maybe you need to, because he was giving out so much energy, and sometimes maybe not even pouring into himself in, ways that he needed to in his spirit. You know, he taught me a lot though, and it's very it's hard because I couldn't believe it. I just like the rest of it. It was just so sudden. And the hardest thing for me was, you guys, I had to deliver the message to Bright. I didn't have to, but I was so hurt. I was still up crying at 3 o'clock in the morning when this when the news, when I'm scrolling and I see all of these pictures of his sisters and him, and I'm like, wow. I said, oh, he got pictures of, because I met Aisha the day that we did the spiritual the guidance, the reading. I met his sister, and he introduced, I want you to meet Aisha. So he's already bridging, you know. And I got a chance to talk with Aisha, and we made jokes, and we talked about spirituality. We spoke about the journey. We spoke about ancestors. And then, we talked about him coming to Texas. And um, like I said, I'm looking at the pictures like, oh, this is Aisha. Okay, cool. Because he wanted us to follow each other and stay connected. He just kept emphasizing, I want you to meet my sister even before we actually got a chance to talk. I want you to work with my sister or just come together, just like he does. He bridges people together. And I was so excited about that. And I'm glad that that happened, in that time. But I don't want to lose my thought. But I don't know. I kind of lost my thought, you guys, but I was looking at the pictures on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking he's sharing pictures. And I get to the top of the message, and it's saying, like, my brother unexpectedly passed away. Man, I lost my mind, like I'm sure the rest of you did. I lost it. I'm like, what? And I give thanks for Lamar James in that moment, because he was in the comments, and it's like he caught me when I was falling, right? So I know so many of you all have shared so much time with SolCharge that you have so many stories, and the pain is deep, but I stayed up crying. And you know who I was crying for mostly? I cried for John, and I cried for you guys. Those of you who I've seen him make so many memories with, and do so much building with, not just in California, not just in Oakland. And shout out to the Oakland Conscious and Healing community, because I'm a part of that as well. Um, Oakland has been like a epicenter for consciousness and so many moves and bringing people together and healing. But I didn't know what else to do, so I just called Bright, and Bright just, I don't even to even tell it. It was so hard. Um, I don't even want to say what Bright said, but it was because it's gonna make me cry. But it's okay, because that's what we're here to do, right? You guys, I apologize, but we gotta let our tears flow, because but Bright was so hurt. And I was hurting for you guys, because I know how much we all love John. I know who John is to the community and what he's been to us, even as a young man. He's taught me as a 46-year-old woman that he taught me that it's not about all of not just the titles, or just how much popularity you have. What John taught me is that presence is prestige. You get honor from presence. Look at how many people love John. Look at how many donations came in. Oh, you guys. So I want to just say one more thing, and then I'm gonna bring up the queen. Okay. Let me actually start bringing her in now. John's birthday just passed, you guys. So let's reflect on that too. John just had a birthday, and on his birthday, all he could talk about is Ghana and raising money for Ghana. He wanted to do a fundraiser for Ghana, and I gotta help them. I gotta help Bright. So I have to keep Bright, I had to give the news to Bright, because I know how close him and Bright was. I got a chance to get to know Bright, just online. And Bright is a bright light. He's a soul charge, he's a Soljet. Whew. And I'm seeing the energy that many of you guys carry, and I give thanks just to be able to be bridged. But yeah, so he's wanting to raise all of this money. I got to. I said, well, I say, SolCharge. I said, you can't do it all by yourself, brother. I said, so you don't have to try and get all of this money on one live stream. I said, keep the fundraiser going. Keep the fundraiser going. Looked like the fundraiser was for him. And I just give thanks for that type of community, just coming together like that. That was beautiful, and Ashe. And so anybody that wanna give or want to even share this live, share the Rachel Stovall, his sister, shared the GoFundMe, just continuing to bring it in. Even I myself, as I'm, doing my readings and stuff, I will be giving a percentage. My business things been up and down right now, but I will be giving a percentage of my readings for the next month or so to his family. Even after if the fundraiser's over, then they just have it, whatever. It may not be a lot, but it's what I can do, so at least, I do what I can. So, but just the idea is so eerie to me. And the flyer, I did make a mistake, and Sister Divine Estrella pointed out to me, you have the wrong date on the flyer. It said May 26, 2026. And I made you guys some more flyers if you want to just keep them as a keepsake. But May 26th was the last day we spoke. So that date is powerful, and he had left me a voicemail, and yeah, he was on his way here. So anyway, I said a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Queen up, and we'll build a little more. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Gotta remember how to do this. It's been so long. But the icon was. There you go, right here. I'm sending the request now to you, Queen. If anybody else want to come up, just let me know. I see you, Omi. I love you, girl. Gotta say, thank you. Thank you. Greetings.
Greetings, Soljet. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for putting this together and bringing us all together in the spirit of my brother Soul, who has always been a bridge. From the time that I met him, has always been a bridge, always connected me to community, always connected community to me, always connected community to one another. I didn't know you were in Texas.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to get to know you. To everybody that's on this call, on this live, thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
We all are at a loss. I just want to say a little bit about my brother, my baby brother, as I call him. I met Soul a few years ago when we were in Ghana, West Africa. There was some of us who went there for different reasons, but somehow, some way we connected. And one day, I was on a bus ride. We were taking a youth trip. We were taking some youth to some waterfalls. Boutique Falls is called in Ghana. And I happened to sit on the seat directly across from Paul and Soul. Paul sat by closest to the window across from me, and Soul sat closest to me. We were both on the aisle seat. And we just started talking. That infectious smile, and just introduced ourselves, got off the bus, had a wonderful day at the waterfall that day. And from that time on, that day forward, we have been really close. He was always there. The only person that I allowed to massage, my personal massage therapist, because of the energy he shared, how he would give and receive energy at the same time during our sessions, was always a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to breathe for a minute.
Yes, take your time, Queen. Take your time. I'm going to be in Oakland soon, so if you guys, I'm going to be looking for the festivities, anything way I can connect to. So keep me in the loop. Anybody listening, take your time, Queen.
What I'm feeling in this moment, and I've shared this, is his presence. Even though he's physically not here, I still feel his presence. And his work continues. And I know that for each and every person he touched, that he would still, if it is true that the Spirit lives forever, if it is true that he's connected still to each and every one of us that he loved, that he poured into in his physical form, he's still going to pour into us. And so that gives me comfort because I don't feel like like I'm at a total loss. If anything, I've gained an ancestor.
Yes.
You know, it's difficult when you give out so much energy to be everywhere at the same time. But when you're omnipresent, you can be more places at the same time.
Absolutely.
So that's how I've been walking through this time. It was very, very sudden and unexpected. And we had plans to return to Ghana in November. This coming November, and we talked about it, and we're planning to do that. And not even as far as November, but we had plans to do things next week.
Right. He's supposed to be coming to Texas. Right.
Exactly. You know. But what this does for me, it reminds me of now, like right here, right now.
Present
Time. You know, we put off things, or you know, we make plans, or we plan to call someone, or you know, we plan to say I was gonna say I was sorry, or I'll do it here, or I'll do it there, or I'll do it when. But the only time to really have is now, right here, right now. So that's what I'm reminded of. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I just want to say, you know, love now, forgive now, and live now.
Absolutely.
That's all we really have.
That's all we got. Take all the time you need.
I'm done. I'm going to leave space for someone else.
Okay.
We are connected now. We can, you know, you and I can converse and continue on. I'm going to definitely work hard to continue the relationships.
Absolutely. And he asked me to come to Ghana as well. You know, like, you should come to Ghana, you should come to Ghana. And I'm like, okay, I wanted to plan to go. So you never know, because we, you know, I'm still connected to Bright, and, you know, I'm connected to you now. So,
yeah.
And Victorious, and.
Yeah. So I invite you. You're invited. You're always invited.
Thank you.
Yeah. I will be doing, continuing my group trips to Ghana. I have one in November, but I'm doing an all women's trip in the beginning of January. So maybe we'll connect around that.
That would be great. I will definitely. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Oh my God. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. You there, you know. Anyone else would like to come up? Oh, 1 moment. There we go. Thank you so much. If there anyone else that'd like to come up and say some things for SolCharge. Thank you, Mama. I say. The live's not working for you? Oh no. Where are you watching? YouTube, or is also on YouTube, Brother Millions AK. Okay, so let's see, what else we're gonna reflect on here. Okay. That was heavy. So would anyone else like to come up? Millions AK, would you like to come up? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and see what else we have to go over here. Wow, I mean, it seems like I feel like I've said a lot, but it's so much to say, you know. It's just a lot of things that happen, you know, that like things that was just uncanny, just strange, you know. For one, I didn't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it, but didn't want to accept it, but it happened so quickly, you know. I must go with this, and if anyone want to come in, yeah, let's keep that soul charge for sure. Oh my goodness, Gabrielle, yes. Victoria, did you want to come up? Gabrielle, did you want to come up? Okay, I'm gonna read a message from Gabrielle. She said, I already had a beautiful vision of his presence here in our love garden here in Oakland, and he was like a son here. The sweetest kind soul, I am forever his Mama G, Ashe. And we will be hanging this picture here with my son and husband. Oh my goodness, Ashe. You know what's interesting about that, Queen? One of the things we talked about is I wanted to begin, because I like to celebrate Earth Day, you know. I'm a Bay Area girl for sure on that. I like to celebrate Earth Day. I call it Anahata Day, you know, the day we not only focus on green, but also our heart. You know, we focus on the heart chakra, the heart space. Um, it's a good exchange. We focus on green things. We focus on our planet. You know, because I'm a planetarian before anything. We're all planetarians, right? Um, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to begin to do garden parties or garden celebrations on Earth Day, and we were talking about that. You know, just a whole healing experience, which we do stuff like that in Oakland anyway, on a Tuesday. That's just a regular Tuesday in Oakland, right? We have a beautiful community in Oakland when it comes to healing and just the arts and things of that nature. So yes, I love Earth Day. So maybe Gabrielle, I can connect with you, Queen. Yeah, I saw some things that you had too, Victorious. I'm gonna stay in touch with you as well because I would love to be a part of the things you guys are doing. And I'm gonna reach out to you too if it's okay, Gabrielle. You guys feel free to reach out to me because I have a lot of energy, not as much as Soul Charge, but I don't mind giving, my energy into causes and becoming a part of cause. I'm community. I've been isolated a lot since COVID, but I will be in the Bay Area soon, okay? And I'm willing to travel. So, Ashe, I receive you guys as well. And thank you, Victorious, for the invite. Is that open? Yeah, God bless Oakland for real. Because a lot of people don't really know how we do it in Oakland. Some people know a little bit. They may know the negative things, but they don't know how powerful of a portal Oakland, California really is. It brings a lot of people together. Um, I used to go to Bella Vista Elementary in Oakland before we moved to San Francisco and then to Pittsburgh. P World, shout out to the whole entire Bay, right? But it's something about Oakland. Oakland is one of my favorite cities in this whole nation. Oakland and Berkeley, I mean, man, it's nowhere like that. I hear it's similar to Brooklyn, but I haven't been to Brooklyn to really know. I need to get there too. But yeah, Oakland is big. Now again, does anybody else want to come up? I say. Okay, so we got a soul charge to Soljet. What does that mean? And there's something else that I wanted to say too. Lamar, Lamar, thank you for being here. Thank you for catching me when I was falling when this news came through. I'm gonna make sure Bright Seed is live as well. It's pretty late in Africa right now. So I wasn't sure what time to go on. Yes. Up and down. Okay. I need to definitely get in touch with you, Victorious, please. I say. Um, I kind of got off task. I mean, off what I wanted to say. Oh, for sure. You live in Houston. Were you the one that we were supposed to be connecting? Is that so? Oh, you lived in Houston for 20 years? I would love to know who the Houston friend was because we were all supposed to connect and they were gonna come to Old Beaumont. But I want to talk about life and death as well. Um, Gratitude for you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Lamar. The same to you. You're a good brother, a good brother. One thing I know about Soul Charge, the people he bring together are we have the same heart, good people, community people. Give thanks. So keep getting off task. Is that you, Soul? Soul is here. He here smiling right now, believe me. But I wanted to talk about just kind of piggyback off what Sister Muhammad said, about life and death, you guys, and how important it is. When things like this happen, a young man, a young, healthy man, a young man full of energy taken away from us like that, and it's like, it seems unfair. I was really angry. I was upset, like, what? How? Just like, don't let this be real. The first thing I did was pick up the phone. When I read his sister's post, I picked up the phone to try and call Soul Charge and dropped it. Like, what am I doing? Because I was like, I have to call Soul Charge to see if he could really confirm that. the things we do in grief though, right? But it's making me really, like sister said, we have to live in the now. Like Queen Mother said, we have to live in the right now, because we just don't know, man. We just don't know. Sometimes we're thinking that, people are sick, or if they're old, then this could happen. But we all we got right now. And we have to really, when things like that happen, it lets us know who's really running the show, because God is in control. you know and I don't know how many people are, deal with astrology, but we're dealing with some hard aspects right now, with Gemini and Aquarius. And we know Brother Soul was a Gemini. Aquarius is innovative energy, or Uranus, excuse me. Gemini and Uranus is unexpected energy, you guys, and we're going to be dealing with that for the next 7 years for those that can receive this message. We are in the age of Aquarius, and what we call the age of Aquarius, which is technology and humanitarianism, right? Humanity. And we see how the world is becoming cold and becoming metal. We getting, so many artificial things around us, right? And we're in the artificial world. But what happens is that squeeze. There's so many things squeezing us in this new world that we're coming into, and it's going to continue to squeeze until we go in and realize that there's more room than out this time, because the room in is what humanity is. That's the most authentic thing, is what's in. So what technology is going to teach us is how the best thing we can learn from the age of Aquarius is how to be more human, because you got to look at the vessel, this technology, and the water is consciousness. That's our humanity. That's our laughter, our joy, our ideas, the things that make us human. And we can't lose that. So the way we counteract all of this metal and this technology and this new world and some of these low vibrations, we use technology as a tool, because it is a tool. But we can't forget and lose our soul, because that's within. Continue to pour into the vessel, pour consciousness, pour information, pour love, pour laughter, pour joy into the vessel. And that's how you counteract, because the vessel's only going to get bigger. So our consciousness have to grow bigger. We have to learn to be human again. This is what is teaching humanity how to be more human, or be crushed by the force. And I have to say it just like that. But it teaches us that, nobody's bigger than the program, and people's spirit is just here to inspire us, and we just never know. SoulCharge is a that young man is an angel. I heard Victoria say he was like our Black Jesus, and I have to agree with that. It's like a Christ energy that came through SoulCharge. He lived 33 full years, and only a couple of weeks after his birthday, you know it just, I'm gonna let you guys, ponder on that, but that's deep. You got a soul charge to Soljet. Family, I want to let you know that you guys, again, if you want to speak, that's fine. But we talk about Soljet. Soljet is elevation again, soul activation. It's a change in frequency. People talk about, oh, I'm on fourth dimension, I'm on fifth dimension. But until you do that shadow work, until we really deal with, our internal self, and really understand that changes from inside out, not just verbally, to soul charge, and it's about it's staying active. It's doing the work. And that's what I said. The most important thing I learned from soul is to get into the thick of it, to be present, to be active, to activate the soul, to get others to activate their soul. And I'm also an artist, and soul activation for me is healing, and it's moving through to soul jet, to elevate to the next plane, even here on earth. I mean, Brother Charge, Soul Charge is soul jetting right now. He's elevating. He became an ancestor and did have more than many people older than him, even myself, has done. As far as traveling goes and things like that. So, but that shadow work, it give thanks, is real. And we want to be light, we want to be joy, we want to be peace, because this world doesn't have to just be all darkness. It's a lot of heaviness on this planet. So a lot of people dealing with things in their mind. Aquarius is mind also. That ego running people crazy. The ego is, but once we understand that it's not about a show, or anybody being, here or there, it's about us all coming together in this conscious collective, not to just, be God, but to be beautifully human. Some people so focused on being God that they forgot how to just simply be beautifully human, humanity. And so I have people watching on the other live, or else I want to play some music, but I want to honor my other stream that's playing as well. Maybe I could play it on my computer. Um, if there's anybody that want to come up again and share their gifts, sing, you can. If you just want to reflect a little bit, you can. But let me see if there's any other things that I wanted to go over. Oh yeah, that breath work that SolCharge was doing was amazing, you guys. I got an opportunity in these last 3 months to really connect with Soul, and he was so excited to get his getting his certification, and he's like, I need to get my certification. Can you help me out? And he's asking different people, and that was awesome because we helped each other because he did the work with me that day, and he removed a lot of blocks. Soul had it going on. He had the music going. I fixed my house up because I do Reiki as well, but I fixed my room up so that I can accommodate the live. So we did a digital healing session, and he removed a lot of, because I've been doing a lot of shadow work, and it's like I needed that piece for the clearing. So it was really awesome. Okay, so we have a request here. And I'm hoping that he got the certification. If anyone went to the school, he was in Arizona. That's the last that I know after he left from Florida. One thing that do hurt me a little bit, but I guess all of the children that he poured into, that has to count for something. But he said one of his biggest regrets was he wasn't married and he wanted children. He said, I just thought by now I would be married and I would have children. But he said since that has not happened, he said I just decided to pour into the healing work. I understand. That's deep to me though, really deep. And he had many children because awesome. Good. Good. He did get it because yeah, the last we spoke, he was like in that process. He was headed to Arizona. So let's see. Sweet Honey in the Rock is the request. Let's just take some time to reflect quietly on you said it's called breaths. Okay.
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums.
Give me one moment. These commercials are.
I'm gonna hit drums and click cover.
It's okay. It's all good. Oh, we did. He did. We talked on the 26th. So he probably did tell me that. It's just so much has happened. The 20, yeah. Well, I talked to him on the 26th. I said the 21st. Thank you, Victorious. Can everyone hear the music? Those who have died have never, never left, but yet are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees, they are in the broken woods, they are in the crying grass, they are in the moaning tops, but yet are not under the earth. Comments. So listen to me.
than to these. Listen more often to these than to these. Tis the ancestors' word when the fire's voice is heard. Tis the ancestors' word in the voice of the waters. Those who have died and never left, but in have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's words, they are in the way of child, they are with us in the home, they are with us in the crowd, but in have a pact with the living. So listen more to things than to things. Listen more to things than to things. It's the ancestor when the fire's voice is heard. It is the ancestor's word in the voice of the waters. Listen more often to things that to me. Listen more often that to me. The ancestors and the minds and spirits. The ancestors in the voice of the waters.
That's beautiful. 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 Does anybody else have any requests? I'm gonna end the live on YouTube first because I do want to play some music and I'm gonna need my phone to do so, unless it lets me connect on Bluetooth there. Let me see. One moment, you guys. I want to close this live here so that I can play music. Can you guys come to Facebook? Or if not, we can end here. I don't want to just cut it off, but I'm only going to play music now. Did anybody want to say anything or leave any comments? If not, um, you can join us on YouTube, on Facebook. You can join us on Facebook, on Soljet Tarot, and that's SoljetTarot. Speak now or I will end live if you guys are still wanting to. I'm muted because I wanted to end this other live and I didn't want to, talk over the video. So if anyone have any comments on the Facebook live, excuse me, the YouTube live, just you could put here. Other than that, I'm gonna end YouTube so that we can play a little music for Soul Charge on our way as we are, Oh, you can hear it? The music is playing on. Yeah, the music is on YouTube. Yeah, the music is on YouTube, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna end here. Plus, I want to play it louder. I want to put it into the on my boom box, my old school turntable in there. I want it to resonate. His brother Soul's birthday just passed. Still there. Okay. So you watching on both? I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the one there so we can just have us a little, a session just to chill out on Facebook. And if anyone want to talk or vibe out, then that'll be cool. And I wanted to say peace to anyone who's joined the live on YouTube and on Facebook. I give thanks.